Hey there, English speakers, Jesse here. And let's talk fighting. Last week was UFC 200. As I mentioned before, it was the biggest card in UFC history and really in MMA history. This was a big spectacle, and they pulled out all the stops. Pulling out all the stops is an idiom. It means they took every risk. They didn't hold back on anything. They spent as much money as they needed to. They tried to be as big as possible. And as I said in my last video, the pre-UFC 200 video, the main event was scheduled to be Jon Jones, the light heavyweight champion, against Daniel Cormier, the light heavyweight champion. But as I said, Anderson Silva, another GOAT, along with Jon Jones, the greatest of all time, he stepped in to face Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier used wrestling effectively against Anderson Silva, holding him down for 3 rounds and neutralize Anderson Silva's attack, because Anderson Silva can attack you from any position. That is why he's the best of all time. So Daniel Cormier's plan was to neutralize Anderson Silva's attack and grind out, as we say, grind out a win. It means pushing ugly and nasty, holding down and causing low, painful punishment, working harder than the other person. That's grinding him out. And that's what Daniel Cormier did to Anderson Silva. And the fans were booing. They were booing. I'm going to explain what booing is and when we use it in English after I talk about this. The fans were unhappy about Daniel Cormier with that strategy and that game plan to fight Anderson Silva. And I think that's unfortunate. Let's talk about what booing is and how we use it in a sentence. Booing is what we call an onomatopoeia. It's when a word is the same thing that it sounds like. For example, crash. If I throw my glass on the floor, the sound that it'll make is either crash or boom or bang. One of those is gonna happen. And that's when the word is the sound that something makes. And I'd say boo is that too. But boo is also used, we use it as a verb. As I said before, the fans were booing. What tense is boo in that sentence? The fans were booing. It's a past continuous verb. So boo can work as a verb. The opposite of boo is cheer. We cheered the team that we liked. Today, we've learned some expressions. We've learned some vocabulary, parts of speech. I think that's a wrap. Boo, cheer, booing, cheering, pulled out all the stops, and onomatopoeia. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.